So, one more time, we would like to welcome you to this light-saber panel. We're happy to be here. We would like to thank Sabakon for extending their arms to us and allowing us to panel with great attention. Very quick introductions. My name is Ryan Wilgeroth. I am the founder of the Society of Lightsaber Duelists National Society. I'm one of the founders of the Society of Lightsaber Duelists UNLV. I'm currently the director of performances, and I also go by the name Haplo on Patrin when I'm performing. And I'm a Jedi. Really? I would never. You know, sometimes. Yeah. My name is Andrea Samano. I am currently the media director. I go by Kiroshi Roos or Darth Bokire. I'm a Sith, as you can tell. Hoorah. Sith happens.
I am Zachary Wells. I am the head of logistics for the Society of Lightsaber Duelists UNLV branch. And I also go by Corvos Aker.
And he's a Jedi.
I am a Jedi. I am formerly of the Mandalorian, in case anyone's very into extended universe.
Yes, Mandalorian. There you go.
Anything else?
No, you can go.
Okay. I'm Jackie Honig. I am the keeper of histories for the Society of Lightsaber Duelists UNLV. I go by Jakai Shadow Weaver, and I'm a Woo! Bounce down to you guys.
Send it down to former Sith, now Jedi.
Yeah.
Hello, I am Daniel Smith. I helped co-found Society of Lightsaber Duelists UNLV, and I was also part of founding the national charter for the Society of Lightsaber Duelists. I am currently the director of logistics. I go by Wolfric Storm Chaser, and I am a Jedi.
No Jedi love. Come on, guys. Here's something to try. He used to be a Sith.
I end up playing a Sith just all the time. I
Yeah,
have both.
We'll talk about that.
So my name is Danielle Head. I go by the name Seraphim Ald of House Ald of New Alderaan. And I'm also a Jedi. And hold no fancy title in the club. I'm simply a Halcyon Paladin.
Okay.
I got promoted. I'm a Halcyon Paladin.
Now would all of you introduce yourselves?
Oh yeah, too many. Now we're confused.
These are the fans.
The
Enduring fans.
So, in case you couldn't tell from our lovely and riveting performance, I'm sure we choreograph high-quality lightsaber duels for performance, for event, flash mob, film, every kind of performance that you could possibly imagine. We have practices every week where I sit there and teach people how to look like they're trying to kill each other. Everybody gets their own chance to like make their own moves. We don't use any specific martial art. We do not follow like some other lightsaber schools all around the country where they actually try to teach you Form 1 and Form 2 and Form 3. Because honestly, nobody's going to be able to do Form 4 and run around like a wingbat. Yeah, wingbat with Yoda. You're not. Without wires, you're not doing it. So that's what we do. We work on, but like I said, we work on film projects. We work on flash mob projects. We do performances for our campus. We do performances for people off campus. In case anybody's wondering, you can rent us out and you can let us perform at your events. Yay! I'm totally plugging our place because there's no other way to do it.
Because we can't.
Buy us. I mean, we do joint performances as well. Yeah, we do joint performances. I said we do joint performances as well. We've recently done a performance with the Harry Potter Alliance. We did the Jedi Wizard Duel for Literacy. Somebody else talk about it because I'm getting tired.
Essentially, we did it with, it was basically Jedi versus Sith and Wizards versus Death Eaters, and Jedi and Wizards were on the same team, so it was really a mishmash of both fandoms. It was really awesome. We got these really cool lights in the background, put in some music. It was really a lot of fun.
I wrote lore for it. I made it sound like it could possibly happen. Yay, fancy.
And we got
More of a suggestion. If you guys ever do the Wizards versus Jedi again, you guys could try like a 4-way fight, Jedi versus Sith versus Wizard versus Death.
That's kind of what we did.
Well,
Alright.
sort of. Okay, so the reason we didn't do a fight kind of like that, or do just Wizards versus Jedi, is we had to come down to the philosophical argument: which is more powerful, magic or the Force? Because if magic is more powerful, then they shoot one spell, we're done. We're out. If the Force is more powerful, we blow through their spells and just cut them in half. So it was one of those things where we just tried to appease everybody, and it made for a much more interesting fight. At one point, we actually had the Wizard, and for Harry Potter fans out there, yes, I do know the sin that we committed, but the Wizard used the Cruciatus Curse against Cruciatus, right?
No, Imperio.
Imperial Curse against the Sith, and then the Death Eater did it to the Jedi, so they were puppeteering, and it was actually really cool because we had the Wizards using their wands like sabers, but they were like 5 feet behind the Jedi, and the Jedi were actually hitting each other. Yes.
It hurts. It really hurts. Like I'm fighting a headache right now.
He's got a very tough forehead. By the way, if any of you have questions, feel free to ask.
It's horrible that little girl asked.
Go ahead, you guys.
Do you have a website or a YouTube channel?
Right, we do have a YouTube channel. Right now, there's nothing on it. We are a very, very, very new organization. So we are. Actually, I think the first video that's going to be up is the one that I'm filming right now. Say hi, everybody.
Hi!
That's going to probably be our first video up. We do have a Facebook page, and that's where we give the majority of our information right now. This summer, we are planning on getting a full-blown website. And things like that.
And Instagram, if anybody Instagrams, you can follow us on Instagram, do that too.
And Twitter. Our Facebook tag, if you go to our Facebook, you can find the other two. We are facebook.com/SoLD UNLV. No space, doesn't have capitalization because it's URL.
Kick bleep first.
Yeah.
They're children, I can't see your name.
How can we join your group? Our registration, I feel like I'm talking
We are UNLV students. We recruit generally UNLV students. If there are other members of the community that like to join and you're in approximately the right age range, you're welcome to join us. The only thing is we do meet in the UNLV SRWC Student Recreation Wellness Center, so you do have to have access to that. We meet Mondays at 5:30. We are basically wrapping up for this semester, but come find us in the Evolved Fair UNLV in the fall and ask us, and we will get you all of the up-to-date information.
As we get bigger, we do have some plans in the making to not be just UNLV, we're going to try to be SoLD Las Vegas. By the way, if we say SoLD Society, my favorite, it's much shorter.
It's not for sale!
But we,
You are for sale, buy us and rent us out.
yeah.
Well, they are
Sounds
free!
bad.
Yeah.
They aren't free!
If you're worried, like, oh no, I can't work for the gym, I can't go in the gym, or we're far away or something like that. Constantly be looking back. Again, eventually we'd like to go to a year-round. Don't have to worry about this like school semesters and things like that. But right now, since we're so small, UNLV gives us money as a student organization, so it's really, really helpful to kind of get our feet around.
Yes, they do.
So you can still join if you're not a UNLV member. We do have to retain 90% student involvement.
90% of our members must be students.
Yep.
Yeah, that 10% would.
Oh, me?
Sorry, I'm just trying to be a little quiet for the
What's your opinion on the new thing about the extended universe?
I almost threw my laptop.
About the extended universe or about the new movie coming out?
They
Both.
just made the announcement. Did you not hear?
No, I didn't.
Oh my god, no!
I'm so mad.
So for anybody who didn't hear.
Tell him gently. Tell him gently.
Okay, so
Oh wait, no, it's not canon, right?
yes,
That's what it was?
Star Wars has announced that all extended universe novels. Disney has announced that they are no longer considered canon.
What the? Yeah.
Children!
Kind of. It will always be canon to us, and it will always be.
The thing about this to consider, it both enrages and excites me. Because just consider comic books. You can have all the different multiple verses of the stories that are all as equally true, but they aren't true to each other. So you can have the Disney story, and then you can have the real story.
Somebody ask another question before they get really mad.
Wait, but maybe they'll call me. Maybe they'll call me.
They may
Oh
call
my
me.
god,
Writers
right?
will forever be the call it canon, it's canon. I don't care what Disney says.
I almost got to write comic
That's what made me mad. Was they shut down whole projects for Lucas. That's what made me mad.
Yeah.
Bring back 1313.
They canceled
They canceled their
Yeah, I got 10 minutes conversation with somebody else.
Okay, I have a question down here.
How much are sabers? You guys get?
It really depends.
You got sabers on that side.
Daniel,
So yeah, we have a wide range of sabers that you can get. They start at the low end with these sabers. These generally come with a smaller blade, and these range from about $60 to $70, and then you can get them very, very expensive once you add in sound. Those have the capability of having sound as well as any color that you want. Like there's an emerald drive that allows you to set up any color. So they can get very, very expensive. The lowest is about 60 or 70.
We'll do a whole talk about the sabers that we use and we'll do a couple of minutes and we'll clear out this little range of questions. We use ultrasabers.com, and again I will talk more about it.
Real names?
I'm Ryan Olgeroff.
I'm Andrew.
My real name is Corey Sager.
I'm Jackie.
Zach.
Hi, I'm Zach. I'm Daniel Lee.
And who are you?
Yes, I'm Jackie.
Over here, right?
I punched him in the face. It was awesome. Yeah. Not awesome. It was very sad. We were very sad.
I split his forehead open.
He punched me in the face once. It wasn't as bad as almost breaking a nose, but I bled a lot.
Oh, okay. So it was when he wasn't able to make it. Yeah.
So it gets pretty gnarly.
We've only had to take one trip to a urgent care, and that was for kids.
We do keep a first
We
name.
are very. We also do focus on TV as much as these guys are joking about it. I have to say that there were no actual Sith harmed in the making of this performance. We focus. True. You're still standing here. You're not dead.
I'm sitting technically.
Fine. He's sitting.
And to be fair, those injuries occurred over a year and a half span of time.
Yeah.
We are.
It takes a while for us to make this.
We're very.
For the amount of time that we try to hit each other compared to the amount of times we actually hit each other, we have a very good track record.
Also, the other thing about all of the injuries, everybody who's ever been injured or injured somebody else, it's always been when we've just gotten it's all the people who are like really, really used to it. Like we've been doing it for a very, very long time, and we've been very, very used to it. So we got really, really confident in his ability to make sure that he doesn't hit me. And then I was like, I got lax, and I was like, oh, I dodged the wrong way. It's okay, I trust him, he's been fighting for forever. Nope, bam, down, blood. But I'm okay. By the way, did you know most urgent cares are not open on Saturdays? Right? I said, no crap.
Come on, R2. Yeah. Over there.
What's you guys' metachlorian count though?
Too high to count.
Over 9,000.
I'm not Vegeta, come on, man.
Actually, mine is.
Do you guys have any gray Jedi or gray Sith?
Oh yeah, I tend to align more with the gray side of the Force.
Okay, I'll give you this best.
It really depends on the fight. We like to keep to the parts, so like I'll stay Sith, they'll stay Jedi. There's sometimes where when we're making a fight, we have to switch sides every now and again.
I think Daniel and I both. I've also fought as a Jedi.
Yeah.
Daniel often fights.
I'm starting to work on some Sith outfits.
Yeah.
One of the things about staying one way or the other is that you really kind of develop your own character, your own persona when you're doing a fight. So when he gets out and does a fight, even if you dressed him in the brightest tans and browns and greens, he still has that brooding nature when he fights, and he has very more cut, precise, powerful motions that you wouldn't normally find with a Jedi. So it's one of those things where we try to stay on one side or the other. The other thing is that we have our own characters, and we do kind of develop those as we go on. If you're like me, like I was almost writing for LucasArts, I almost got to write a comic, so I have like a fully developed backstory for my character. But we don't really put too much lore behind our fights, because most of the time when we perform, it's a flash mob. So it's like, what's going on? It's a bunch of random people going, oh look, lightsabers, holy crap, somebody's dead, yay! You don't have a lot of time to develop a story. When we do our videos, then we kind of flesh out why we're fighting. We try to use all canon, real canon information. and we try to make those as sound as possible.
Have you guys seen some of the videos of the lightsaber duelists in Italy?
Yes, they were who I was talking about earlier. Who they teach Form 1, Form 2, Form 3, Form 4. They're super awesome. They're super cool. And they make tons of money. But it's not really how I learned to choreograph fights, and it's very, very different. And I'm not the biggest believer in teaching Form 1, Form 2, Form 3 because you can't really learn how to. If you guys don't know, in the Star Wars universe, when a lightsaber's on, if it's not touching anything, it's weightless. It's a weightless blade. It doesn't have weight until it touches. So if you think about that and you see how many like spins they do and stuff, it's actually not as impressive. So sorry, I just kind of ruined some stuff for you. But it's one of those things where they teach Form 1, and it's like, can it really be Form 1? It's not. You know, it's different. So
that, and we're just not that athletic. I wish I could. Yeah, I wish I could do those 50-foot jumps up from one area to the next, and then double bladed.
You can?
You can?
Yeah, totally.
Oh.
That
is true. That is true.
Real quick, do we want to talk about Relic for a couple of minutes?
Ooh, that would be fun.
The game or
The video.
No.
We have, at our practices, there are some days where we'll be hanging out and we'll play a game called Relic. We'll get into that later. But we also have a 5-part mini-series that we're starting to film. We're writing it. We're about to start filming it. And it's all canon. It's all really cool. And since you're kind of a brief child,
brief overview of the story, and then I'm going to let everybody else talk. If you need me to shut up, you just tell me.
You just let him talk.
So the story takes place about 3000 BBY. I can't remember the exact date off the top of my head. So for those of you who know, that's when the Jedi were a little more militaristic. It's a couple hundred years after one of the big giant Sith wars. We have a group of Jedi who are going off their Explorer Corps. They go off, they find this really weird relic. The relic turns some of the Explorer Corps into Sith with this cool brainwashing. Also canon, the Rakatan?
Yes,
Rakatan
or Rakatan?
Different. Whatever. One of them.
Those guys.
Are Rattata, whatever.
No, not Pokemon.
Yes. But anyway.
Rakatan don't build the Star Force, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, turns into Sith. They end up massacring most of the Jedi that are at this outpost. And then we have some other Jedi that come in. There's some betrayal. There's some covert stuff that goes on. I don't want to get too into it. It's actually told kind of Tarantino-esque. Sorry, I'm a filmmaker, so I will talk about direction. It's kind of told Tarantino-esque, where we're jumping around in the timeline a couple of times. We're switching point of views. It's going to be really, really cool. One of the really interesting things about it is we're not using any existing Star Wars music for 2 reasons. One, Disney will find us and hunt us down and take my wallet. And also, we think it's going to be very, very interesting to watch a Star Wars film with different music. You know, I mean, if you hear Star Wars music, you know it's John Williams. You know it's Star Wars, and it's going to be very, very interesting to see what it's going to be like with. Because we're not going to be using like we're not going to use the used, or we're not going to use actual bands. We're going to use orchestrated music, classical music. That's a battle music. It's very interesting. Anybody else?
Yeah. Also, with Relic, for me, I think it's really cool. It's a student-based project, so it is being written, edited, started, directed, shot, post-production.
I'm not doing the editing, but somebody's.
Yeah, it's all going to be student-based, so it's really cool for us because we're all students, and it's really great that we're hoping to be able to produce something that looks really, really awesome and is high quality, and we've done it ourselves.
You had a question.
Yeah, you had a question.
You guys never did answer what is your opinion on the new movies by J.J. Abrams?
It has potential.
I will watch the 7th film and then I will give an opinion.
Yes.
The phrase that I have coined is that Disney buying it has a lot of potential. It has potential to be amazing. I mean, think of what they've done with Marvel. Whether you're a big fan of Marvel, like the comics or not, those movies are friggin' awesome, and you know it. They've done a lot of stuff, so it's got potential to be amazing. We also have some potential to be a disaster and train wreck. But who knows? It's got potential, and honestly, it's more than what Lucas was doing.
J.J. Abrams is an excellent director though.
He is.
Oh yeah,
There's
the Star
no-
Trek films are amazing. I love what he's doing.
There's no denying he's a great director. It's just gonna be one of those where we're gonna play it by ear. So yeah.
And I have one more.
Sure.
Would you prefer John Williams doing the music or Michael Giacchino or both?
Plead the fifth.
John Williams has the most classical, just epitome of Star Wars kind of music. But I have to say, Giacchino really does a better job at getting what modern films do. The way that we have modern,
He's like
action
the balance.
sequences and things like that. He's better at what's now more modern.
He is.
So what do you guys think about the rumors of release Princess Leia and Han Solo and their children?
It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see if they keep to the books, to see what they do with that.
If they had said that they were going to keep the EU, then I would be very iffy.
Oh, you guys
because
haven't heard after the saga, the first saga, that Princess Leia and Han Solo, they have 3 children, one also drops, and they have another set of
there's a whole. I don't want to bore everybody with people who don't ask, but it's different.
And who's Skywalker marriage?
Oh God, I hate Mary Jane. Don't even say it.
I like Marge. I don't
As you can tell, we are very split all the way around.
I've actually read the books.
Okay, I did say that we were going to talk about Ultra Sabers, and so we need to talk about Ultra Sabers. So, oh goodness,
We still got a lot of time.
do we? Oh, that's right. Oh, I thought we ended at 4. I was like, what?
We
We're at 4:30, yeah.
Okay,
have
so anyway,
Ultra Sabers.
I'm tired. Ultra Sabers. Somebody else has it.
Daniel?
All right, so we go with Ultra Sabers simply because these things take a beating.
As you can see.
Like,
They will whack the crap out of each other.
Yeah, like
You
yeah,
guys are
like,
really-
we're those hits. Like those are actual hits, and they stand up amazing. They're great quality. They are a bit pricey, but UNLV helps to pay for them, which is fantastic. Go UNLV on that. Seaside.
And don't, if you're gonna try and do what we do, don't get the FX ones. Those break out of like 2 hits.
Yeah.
And they're also a lot more pricey.
FX Sabers are $120 each, just flat. That's what you're gonna get. I've broken 3 FX Sabers. None of them mine, so it's okay. And I offered to pay them back, and they said no, because they put it in mine. But anyway, I have broken 3 FX Sabers. That is a $360 mistake.
One of the great things about Ultra Sabers, though, is that if you do have an FX lightsaber and you really like that hilt, you can mail it to them, and then they will make it combat ready and then send it back to you.
Yeah,
They do charge you for that.
They're really good about if something goes wrong with their sabers, you send it back, they fix it for you, and they're really good because the quality of the sabers really matches the price that you're paying.
The customer service is fantastic.
We really beat them. There's only 6 of us here. There's about 14 or 15 of us right now, and every single week we pull every single one of them out and are beating them. And I've been in this my 2nd semester. I haven't seen one break yet.
We've yet to see the blade. The worst damage that's ever come to one of them is has some wires, like just fray a little bit. But
We send it in and it gets fixed.
Yeah, their turnaround there is fantastic. Like I've ordered a saber and had it 3 days later.
Yeah. When they say 2 to 3 weeks, you'll get it in the first week.
They don't rush to make themselves right.
Yeah.
One of the other things that's really great about this is they're constantly coming up with new stuff. Like, I'll get emails because, of course, I'm subscribing. They send me emails all the time, and I read every single one.
I wonder why.
But they're always coming out with new blade or new handles. The older blades are replaceable, which you can interchange them. But like beyond just coming up with new handles, they've also got other additions with seriously. But like this one and then Zach's, these ones are the really nice ones. They've got Obsidian soundboards, which are really good soundboards. Unfortunately, since we had a mix of people who do have Obsidian and don't have Obsidian, we turned it off for the performance, which is something that you can do. They sound very good. You can change the sounds that it makes to anything. They have, you can make it do thunders.
Thundercats! Oh! I think mine do Doctor Who, like the TARDIS and everything like that.
Actually, a couple months ago, they did release a new hilt. It is the Sword of Omens.
Yeah.
That's
But they do the Obsidian soundboard. It sounds great. And then they also have recently their biggest and probably one of their best advances that they did is they had an emerald. They added an emerald driver. So basically, I can hook my lightsaber up to a laptop. That's right, we're living in the future. The future is now. I hook my lightsaber up to my computer, and I can change the color. And it's not just like I can go from red to blue. I can change the hue. You've got R, G, B, and white. Red, green, blue, and white, and you can slide those, and you can just mix and match, and you can make any color. You have flash on flash. You can't really tell with mine.
Mine's a little bit easier to see. I have it set to a lighter green. Changed it.
So when we actually hit, we can make it look like we're actually like holding and they're flashing, and then you just press the button, and then it goes back to normal. They're super great. Ultra sabers are super awesome. You should check them out. And honestly, even if you don't want to buy a saber, it's really fun to like customize and make your own and just go. One day.
It's a complicated process. Basically,
our student government allows for organizations to request funding for events or just equipment for their organization, and we've gone through that process a couple times now, and they've approved our requests, and we've gotten sabers out of it.
And when I say that UNLV pays for our sabers, like they do give us sabers. We are a student organization. We have a very, very strong presence on campus. Well, we're growing on campus. We have a strong presence on campus. We help students hang out, find a cool niche place to be.
We work with other organizations on campus. There are a lot of other nerd organizations. We've got Harry Potter on campus, we've got Game Club, we've got Star Trek, we've got anime.
Sal still here?
No, Sal left. And so we are really working on our nerd presence on campus, and it's really great to get to all come out and hang out together, and it's really a lot of fun.
it was a lot of fun because we just did the holodeck ball, which was put on by Star Trek Federation on campus, and it was just all the clubs, so Star Trek, anime, Game Club, everyone. They just Harry Potter, they all just showed up, and it was just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds.
We nerded out so hard.
It was so great.
This is what the convention's like.
Yeah, and it was,
We got to do it at
so much
school.
fun because they had like a Mario Kart tournament, they had a Cartoons Humanity tournament, they had performances, we performed, they had contests for best costume, best.
They have for best cultural performance. That's
Yeah.
the contest.
And guess who won?
Unfortunately, you lost the costume contest to Black Bucket.
I'm okay with that. It was wonderful.
Does anybody have anything they want to do?
Daniel's got pipe.
Thank you.
What?
Customize it online.
It very much varies. Like this one that I got was because it's a very nice hilt. I got like one of the more expensive hilts. I have the obsidian. I have the emerald driver. All of us upgrade our blades to heavy grades. They don't break, things like that. This cost me $60.
Mine was about 400.
So for the quality of it.
Oh, definitely.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have this for the rest of my life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe it was $550. Oh yeah.
Sure. Okay. Since I've been rather quiet this panel, talking about costuming for our club, you get to join in the beginning. You choose whether you'd like to be a Sith or a Jedi. Keep in mind the Sith can wear pretty much anything that they want as long as it's black or red. Or purple, pardon me. And the Jedi, for the most part, are rather stylized. You do have to stay within the neutrals. You do have to stay within a certain look to get across the fact that you are a Jedi. So we do a lot of thrift store hunting. For example, I'll just stand here. This belt, thrift store. This belt, thrift store. The boots I'm wearing are boots I've had for a long time. The pants I'm wearing are the pants I've had for a long time. So most of your costume pieces are things that you already have or things we can put together.
Unless you're being Zach and your mom were stoked.
Yeah, I wanted to have the most realistic outfit possible, so I had this custom made. Almost everything was made by my mother. She said so.
We love you, mother!
Except for this lovely frog.
Have a Jedi book.
Oh, thank you.
Yep. Okay.
Have a
So,
Don't let us try with Jay. Don't worry.
you'll
Don't let us
also
touch
learn your costumes are made or broken by your signature pieces. In my case, it's this leather bolero. In Ryan's case, it would be his sidekick.
Sidekick, which he's very proud of.
Yes.
Sexy sidekick.
We often go boot shopping. We get one good pair of boots and often make an otherwise terrible costume.
Wait, boots up?
Where's that?
Okay. So that is what makes or breaks a costume. Most of the time, when people come in, they don't really have much in their wardrobe. We help them out. By the time of the first performance, somebody has usually an interim costume. Once you join the club for more than a semester, you generally start making your costume better and better, one piece at a time, because you're serious about it now.
Costume making is a dictator that you're most
Yes. Like 3 or 4 variations of what we wear.
Yeah.
So when you practice, you have to be confident.
No.
We practice
We're usually in jeans and t-shirt or whatever we wear that day.
Tennis shoes and jeans.
For the first semester that I was in, we were in the gym, so I would always wear gym clothes just to look like I was a normal person.
Where's your jacket?
Don't throw it at me.
So,
Don't put it on.
right before our first performance, we will have a dress rehearsal. We will have everyone bring their costume, exactly what they're going to wear on the day of performance, including their footwear. We will make sure they have enough traction, not to slide break or other people. We will make sure you can move in your costume. We're going to make sure that the moves you put into your fight are able to be performed in your costume. For example, that cape used to be on me, and the fight that I just did, I was tripping all over it, so gone. So we do a dress rehearsal to make sure that your fight will you blush.
No, I will not.
You will not.
You will not be silent.
Any other costume questions? So,
If you want to be discouraged,
You're fine. If you want to be Darth Maul,
yeah, it's strongly discouraged because we don't want people going, oh, it's Obi-Wan, because then Disney's gonna come hunt us down.
and for many of our video projects, we will use the same costume we perform in for the videos, and you don't want to step on Canon's toes. What we do is take. Well, you must.
are we all doing it now?
Yes.
It's our duty.
What we will do is you can take costume pieces from pre-made costumes. For example, this under tabard, it's General Plo Koon's tabard. Can you tell? Thank you. So, you can get Darth Vader's costume number 6, you can get Princess Leia, but Obi-Wan's costume number 3, and then make it your own. Add your own belts, add your own pieces, and nobody knows that you're using the base costume from a canon character. If you can perform in that, kudos.
Yeah, if that stays on, I for you, but you will
Probably
not have any partners.
I think we had a
You'll have a
question.
very polite fight.
Thank you.
Question over here, someone?
I forgot.
Oh, okay, no worries.
We'll come to you after the panelists.
Real quick, I was going to go back to this. One of the other reasons that we don't do canon costumes is that that you guys all know that there are trolls out there just like, that's not what Obi-Wan would wear. That's not what Obi-Wan would wear. Well, now I can go, well, I'm not Obi-Wan, so I don't care. Just like that.
Literally. Just like that.
All right, what was your question?
I finally remembered. So, basically, Disney says, copyright means you have no right to copy.
Pretty much.
We're not copying.
We're not copying.
We are so good at not copying, we don't spell lightsaber the same way.
We are like
Yeah.
dash saber, not lightsaber. By the way, I like your flag.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
anybody want to hold saber? Yeah. of course, philosophy.
No.
But if you want to talk about anything, if you guys want to ask us questions, if you want to ask us questions about being students involved in an organization, if you want to ask us about just the club, if you want to ask about the history of the club, our national branches,
If you want to ask about the weather, we can talk about that too.
I can't talk about the weather. It's hot.
We're here.
You got a
Yeah.
question? What?
Your name, like, being insulted. That's all accident or
Accidentally on purpose.
Well, you don't know. You weren't there.
I know.
I'm the only one that was there. But in all honesty, kind of accident on purpose. We were toying around with ideas. The way that the organization started was I was in high school. I was doing a senior prank, and then we did a senior prank with lightsabers, like the Walmart lightsabers. Then we ended up. It is 420. Yeah. Just please. No kids. 420. I've been watching too much Rooster Teeth. Okay.
Yeah.
Rooster Teeth. I pray all the time.
So you were in high school, like 50
So I was in
years
high
ago.
school.
Love your hat, love your mask, love your gunny.
But while we were there, we ended up having like a couple of teachers want us to perform again and throw again, and eventually we kind of just created our own club. So we were toying around with ideas of what are we going to call ourselves? What are we going to call ourselves? So we messed with it, and then at one point we just liked society. They kind of fell together, and then eventually it was like, oh, well this works. And we just kind of rearranged it.
Hush, the doctors walked in.
Any other questions?
Hi. So, as a bunch of Star Wars fans, I gotta ask, favorite alien race? It's me, expanded universe too.
Wookiee!
Good answer.
I play Edge of the Empire as a Wookiee.
Do it, do it, do it!
Come here, fuzzball.
Personally,
When you're done, I want to talk. When we finish answering that question.
personally, I'm a fan of the Magikai. I mean, as far as alien races go, they're probably the most normal and human looking. But when I was getting ready to write for LucasArts, my character Hoplo was Magikai, and he's got his own. So I really got to know the Magikai culture.
I'm gonna change my answer. Wookiee for species, Mandalorians for culture.
Zabrak for both.
Oh, to me.
I guess that's one of the that's one of the other things really cool about our club. We're all Star Wars fans, and we'll all talk about Star Wars for days and days and days. But we're not a Star Wars club. We're the Society of Lightsaber Rules. What we do is we choreograph lightsaber rules. Jack, how many Star Wars films have you seen?
You're not telling me! This is going on the internet!
That is your answer.
The answer to that question is...
Goose egg!
No! 3. 9! So, but here's the thing, this is what I was going to say.
Which
When I
3?
said the good ones. The 5, 6, 4, 5, and 6. But what I was going to say before when I interrupted to... And I will not answer questions.
I know, I'm not judging you because you're not tainted by the prequels.
I like you. Is that what? See, I get to be the warm and fuzzy one. A lot of us do this. We do this because we love it, and you can't tell. We all have a really good time together. Some of us have spent the last like 25 hours together. It's been great.
No, we're way over 20.
Yeah, we're probably like 30 or something right now. We have a really good time doing this, and someone's really excited out there. We'd be that excited if we weren't tired. Oh, happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Happy Stanford Day birthday!
And so we're like a family. Someone mentioned that earlier. We're talking about to talk about, and we are family. These are my brothers.
It's been one of those where
She likes the Ewoks.
I do. I actually really do like Ewoks. They're really cute.
these guys are like my home away from home, and it's one of those where
We're gonna get sappy.
we're gonna get very sappy right now. I couldn't imagine school without them because I mean, before I wasn't super into Star Wars. I was like, yeah, Star Wars, but now it's one of those where it's like I've got people who I can share it with, you know.
Aww. Sorry for
You
getting
guys want to
sappy.
answer this question? Way off, but we want to go back.
Oh,
and move around.
I think I'm gonna stick with Wookiee. Like I'm gonna go with Zach and we say Wookiees. Wookiees good.
I can do this.
What?
I get away with this one because there's no Earth in Star Wars. I like humans.
Say words. Earth that was.
I like the two bags.
Okay.
They have the trunks and they
No, that was a word. That was supposed to be an elephant sound. I think I sounded like a wolf.
you just did something, I don't know.
Everybody else going on the internet.
Hey, what's your language?
Shoot.
Any other questions?
And we've reached like our last 6 minutes, so I mean, ask us
Literally anything.
anything.
You learned
Nothing. If it gets silent in here, we start singing.
Oh, can we
I'm
sing?
not kidding.
Do you want to hear us sing?
Yes.
The misty mountains go to dungeons deep and caverns old. We must away.
We're really toned up.
Ere break of day to find our long forgotten gold. The pines were roaring on the heights. The winds were moaning in the night. The fire was red, it flaming spread. The trees like torches, blazed with light. Long time. We are the light-saber duelists, not the galactic choir. We understand how terrible it is.
Secret dance little Lou. That's what. Sorry.
What?
Continue. Sorry.
Any other questions? We're going to start singing shanties.
Wait, I'm calling them off.
What's that? Down to Goblin Town.
Very carefully.
Only know a couple.
Wait, someone's asking.
We do whenever we can. Sometimes the room space is full. Like the majority of this last semester, we were forced to practice outside in one of the courtyards. But generally, we try as much as we can to be inside the Any other questions?
This is what
Yes.
You might have said this earlier, but like, where do you guys like practice?
We try to practice as much as we can. We practice on campus because we are a registered student organization with UNLV. So we practice on the UNLV campus. When we do practice on campus, this whole last semester we've been practicing outside in one of the courtyards of the building. We try to practice inside our gym as much as possible because weather permitting, like I don't want to get this thing wet. It's not going to get soaked in water and rain. As much as I can, we try to practice inside. Air conditioning, honestly, most of the time it's just because of air conditioning. That's the only reason. But we practice inside
very
our
nice.
Less allergies.
Yes, let's out.
And pine cones.
Oh,
Thermal detonators.
Not so much thermal detonators.
You guys are not in uniform. Oh, one of the other things that we totally skipped over. In joining the club, if you are interested and if you do end up coming and giving practices, that it's absolutely free to join. We have no membership fee. You don't pay anything to jump in. We provide sabers for practice and for performances. You don't get to keep them. We check them out. We check them back in. But we provide them for practices and performances. The only thing that we ask you to do is get your own costume. We're here to help you with that. We will make sabers, like thrift shop runs with you. We will, you'll email me at 3 o'clock in the morning, like, does this costume look good? And I'll go, maybe not sneakers, but yeah.
Most of us have pieces from previous costumes that we then donate to the new members. I have spare belts and spare vests and spare. We create new costumes all the time.
Important thing to note, you can put almost anything together to make a costume, but boots make the outfit. So you want to really look for a good pair.
Honestly, so far from what I've gone, I promise I'll get to your question.
Yeah, what we're going to answer.
Honestly, I mean, for those of you who do cosplay, man, shoes really do make your costume. like I was a pirate 2 days ago. If I wasn't wearing my boots, I would just look like a guy wearing a stuffy coat.
You look pretty.
Thank you.
Shiny cap.
So what was your
And
question?
then my other question was, do you have to be like a certain age to join? Because I'm a sophomore and like,
Nope,
so I
doesn't
can, like,
Old enough to hold a lightsaber.
We do, I mean,
Be an adult, if you're a minor still, if you're in high school or something and you want to join our club and we need your parent permission for things, that gets a little sticky, especially with liability concerns about us wanting to be over the head. So, be 18-year-old, I would say.
What I call the Jedi.
the Jedi didn't have me!
Thank goodness for that. They're lucky.
You be right out the door.
We can pass it
I don't think we're gonna
We have a lot more child
They
safety laws.
wheeled me into these doors. They have to open both. We had to get clearance. There were zoning permits needed to get my head.
No flying, air zone above, and all that.
Yeah.
Oh, just because everybody's doing
Thumbs up.
something.
All right. Thank you all.
Thank you much. Thank you everyone.